Did I dream that? How did it get to 1 trillion? Because I remember when President Trump was haggling
with
the
the guy
CEO
right next to him.
Over 100 billion.
And he said, let's make it 2.
Yeah, here you go.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him right now, would you make it $200 billion? He can, believe it or not, he can actually afford to do that.
This brings us to the economy. We're going to have a then and now. But when we had Liberation Day, we had been telling you throughout this entire saga, hey, there are going to be some growing pains. It's going to happen. And this is for the greater good long term to stabilize us having a country that is not reliant on foreign adversaries who hate us. We were very clear about that. When you saw the dip, we also were very clear about that and tried to offer helpful advice in spite of all the panic sellers and the folks on the financial channels like, was it CNBC and Fox Business? Yeah. I guess it's time for, we called it.
Come, let Zoltar tell you more.
I'm gonna hit the next pitch ball right past the flag.
We're gonna win the game, I guarantee.
The market wins out. There are people out there who want to pick stocks and give you a hot ticket. They don't do any better than a monkey throwing darts at a board. Random walk, that is true. But then there are people who tell you, and putting anything in the stock market is like, it's like playing roulette. It's like playing the lottery. No, it is not. The market over time will always win out if you rebalance and if you're disciplined and you don't panic, okay?
Come, let Zoltar tell you more.
I'm gonna hit the next pitch ball right past the flag.
We're gonna win the game, I guarantee.
Well, there you go. The economy has, the market, I should say, has largely recovered right now. And actually, other signs of the economy, as far as what affects you most on Main Street, are doing historically well, certainly in the last, let's call it half a decade post-COVID. But the left and the media, I repeat myself, they've been rooting for America to fail. Not for Donald Trump to fail in implementing policies, but for the United States to fail. And their rhetoric, of course, following specifically Liberation Day and tariffs, proved it.
The President of the United States really does
that
seem
is a lesbian
on intentionally destroying the U.S.
It really is.
So the markets are in free fall, your portfolio, your retirement is getting ruined, and everything is about to become significantly more expensive.
Additional fallout from President Trump's self-inflicted market disaster, with markets in free fall and rising recession fears.
And we still don't know anything more specifics from Liberation Day.
Christopher Lloyd David.
The big reveal. We know absolutely nothing except a bunch of promises which have not been fulfilled.
It's the new Pope.
Ultimately, unlike Republicans, Democrats have the hard job of making government work. We don't run on the idea that it's not going to work and then do a terrible job by screwing up our economy with tariffs and then blaming the guy that just came before us and saying, oh, this is all because of us, when we see clearly it is his fault.
This guy is driving us toward a recession.
Okay, now we show you that, and we're going to go through specifics because it's very important that you rub their nose in it so that they never think of lying to you about this again, and that we all learn from these mistakes. It's time for Then and Now. All right, I wish we had Christopher Lloyd David so he could put us in his DeLorean because it's time to travel back to then. I always pick the wrong side. Okay.
You've only been doing it a few years.
It's not like we have a ton of stairs.
I know.
You're getting better.
So remember, back then they said tariffs would absolutely make inflation skyrocket.
The man who ran for president, claiming that just electing him president would create a huge increase in the stock market and would decrease prices immediately on day one, now himself is the single biggest inflation threat in American history, and today he spent the day in his golf cart.
By the way, that's all blurry because MSNBC can't be bothered to upload HD to their website. This brings us to...
Can't afford it.
A now. Okay. Wrong side still. Damn it. I thought then was here and now was here. The latest inflation report came in at 2.3%. That's the lowest pace since April 2021.
Ah, very nice.
Even the cost of some products that would have a pretty high exposure to tariffs fell. Things like cars and clothes which honestly, that surprised me. We were saying plan for some growing pains there. But remember, the argument that they made about eggs, this was the first month and a half of the President Trump administration, number 2.
They tried to go back to it again, so let's not limit them.
They were saying, you have a Trump card. Ask them about eggs. Well, they're down 45% since inauguration. CNN even had to publish this headline: Trump's egg price fiction has suddenly become a reality.
Wait. Wait, is there like a Pulitzer Prize being awarded to somebody who uncovered we were actually wrong about the eggs, just like the whole Biden was totally sane and totally in control of the government?
I love a political party that's so pro-abortion, but they're all about eggs.
Yes. It's the one. Don't you love it? This just like you said, you don't hate the media enough. They can't just say, okay, egg prices are down, that's good for Americans. They have to say his egg price fiction. Well, now it's not fiction, but that doesn't change the fact that he said when he said they would come down, he couldn't know. So it's fiction. He was lying then, even though it happened. But he's a liar.
How do they show up for work the next day, Lawrence O'Donnell and these blowhards, after being so wrong about everything since this guy came down the escalator?
I know.
How do they dare show their faces anymore?
No.
That means they're insane.
Yes.
They are that guy.
Think about
gives me
Jake
the
Tapper.
creeps.
He's writing the book about the scandal, the great cover-up of Biden's decline. You mean the thing that everybody was talking, including on your show, and you corrected them?
The cover-up of which he was a principal drafter of. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, they were involved in the cover-up.
Yes.
Your job as a journalist to dig up that stuff. We're not supposed to do it for you. What's the name of his new book now? Shit, only you guys know.
In parentheses, you guys, everyone. Everyone not named Jake Tapper.
Right.
Or Brian Stelter, completely straight, by the way.
Yes.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
The gobbler of a goo.
Allegedly.
He's a pro.
He likes
We know some amateurs. He's a pro.
He is.
This brings us to another point here of then. Nice.
There you go.
Remember, they told you this, and they were hoping for this. And many people acted financially on this. The United States was headed for a Great Depression, another market crash. It was going to be a black Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day of the week that they think could be a bad one, and it's Trump's fault.
The one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday has the most potency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession.
With all of what we've seen about this administration's threatening and then withdrawing threats on tariffs, seeing the bond market, seeing the stocks, all of that up and down. What can the Congress do? What do you hope the Congress could do to bring some kind of stability and order here? Because people are already financially in limbo and getting hurt.
Import Chinese girls.
My own mother, she's a senior administrative assistant about to retire. Much of her retirement is in her 401k. The 401ks of Americans have become 201ks because of Trump's recklessness.
That's a good joke, because 201k is less than 4.
Also,
I had breakfast with him in Harlem.
Really?
Yes.
What was that like?
I had a pilot for Comedy Central that never made the air. It was the funniest stuff you have ever heard. And he was we picked him up in a van.
You talking about
Comedy
Sharpie?
Central? Yes.
Yeah.
Paid him $10,000 for the day. I had at a place called Ruth Ann's, a very famous black place for breakfast. And dude, you would have cried.
Yeah.
At all the food's named after, black.
What was he like?
X pancakes and stuff.
What was Sharpton like?
He was very charming. But I wanted to say, why did you waste your brains? And he's a charming, on just being a hateful, ignorant stoop.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, he's like, where'd you learn your politics? I go, Boston, early 70s.
Yeah. There's a lot of white.
He goes, oh, man.
A lot of white people in Boston.
Yeah. But it was great. I wish it made the air.
And by the way, also financial wizard in the making.
Yes.
Soon to be former DNC Vice Chair David Hogg chimed in saying, we're about to see one of the largest stock market crashes since COVID, if not larger, and it's all because of an old man obsessed with tariffs who fires anyone who tells him no.
Oh, come on.
That's worse than what you just heard, because he was warning that it was going to get worse. And these people, unfortunately, they have platforms where a lot of folks take their word as gospel.
Yes.
So if people listen to this, they would panic sell. And I know some people who panic sold. We specifically advised you not to.
That was dumb.
And you would have recovered everything, because that brings us to now, the Dow Jones, S&P, are up. The Dow is 7% higher than it was a year ago. The S&P is higher than it was on the Liberation Day, where all the doomsdayists came out. And also, in case you're wondering, just for future reference, when these people tell you that they know what's happening, don't forget, a blindfolded monkey beat human beings when it came to picking stocks.
Hold on.
It's an actual study.
Hold on.
You're kidding.
No. You said this before. I didn't know it was a real study.
It was an actual study.
Can we pull that back up? I want to read a little bit of this.
Yeah.
So for the second straight round, the primate stock picker made a monkey out of his professional and amateur rivals. Hold on, they had multiple rounds?
Yes. Yes. So
play.
I have never picked stocks. Again, what I tell you is when you buy the market and you rebalance and you are conservative, over time, you will win. And by the way, what I've just said has been true forever, since the inception of markets. It just comes down to how long you stay in. So anyone who tells you they know when they have a crystal ball, again, just remember, they were beaten by an actual monkey in at least 2 rounds.
I have to tell my brother that. He handles my money. I'm going to go, sorry, Greg, I got a helper monkey I just bought.
Bubbles.
Yeah, he wipes my ass and he does my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like red wine and Xanax is rocket fuel. Don't take the clicker from him. Don't take the clicker, I said. Of course, many folks may not know this, particularly as it relates to Eric Swalwell. They might not know of these news stories because, as you heard NPR tell you, we had food deserts, but now there are those pesky, those underprivileged areas that are underserved without smartphones in 2025. Those news deserts. The good news is NPR is taking it upon themselves to fix the problem.
News to the desert! News to the desert! So saith the New York Post, there will be an estate liquidation sale on Eric Swalwell's Oriental sex dungeon. Unknoweth to his betrothed, so saith the New York Post.
That man was immediately raped. Eric Swalwell, in case you don't know, was banging a Chinese spy.
Can I give you a nickname for him?
Yes.
Eric Swallows well.
Oh,
Well, they didn't say female Chinese
They didn't
spy,
say
did they?
female Chinese spy.
Wait a minute. What did I just say? Did everybody get a moan on it?
No. We didn't. Because we were wrong. We thought it was a female Chinese spy. Turns out.
I'm talking about Eric himself. He swallows well.
No, we got it.
I think we should be.
Oh, my God. That even grossed me out. He's gargling with it.
And by the way, you can check all of the references, as you can for every show. And I recommend that you do. And I recommend that you are skeptical of anyone who doesn't provide their bibliography effectively every single day.
else.
Just link in the description. This goes to another claim that was made
monkey.
Then. That not only, okay, is inflation going to go up? Okay, we know that's wrong. Not only are we going to see a crash and everyone's going to lose all their money, okay, that was wrong. They also made the claim that foreign investment, of course, is going to dry up.
The United States has been an attractive place to invest. The reason the dollar is strong, and basically the reason we have a trade deficit, is that the United States has been an attractive place to invest. And Trump, well, he can end that. He can make us a really lousy investment destination.
But he didn't.
How this is supposed to be a good thing for the United States, I don't know. But it's insane.
Well, you know what? I'll give you one good thing, which brings us to now. President Trump has brought in at least $7 trillion in foreign investments.
That's what we can verify. He's saying there's over 10.
He's saying there's over 10, but we can verify well over $7 trillion.
Yeah.
So if you just look at the countries, and again, the references are available, go check them out. UAE, $1.4 trillion. Japan, $1 trillion. Saudi Arabia, they were talking about that yesterday, $600 billion. Then you look at individual companies investing in the United States. Project Stargate, $1 trillion. Apple, $500 billion, moving some of their developments here. NVIDIA, $500 billion. IBM, $150 billion. TSMC, $100 billion. And my personal favorite, SoftBank, $1 trillion, particularly because I have to go back in my memory bank and say, wait, hold on a second. Did I dream that? How did it get to $1 trillion? Because I remember when President Trump was haggling with
the guy
CEO
right next to him.
Over $100 billion.
And he said, let's make it 2.
Yeah, here you go.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him right now, would you make it $200 billion? He can believe it or not, he can actually afford to do that. Would you do that?
Well,
My promise is 100, but he's now asking to do more. I think with your leadership, my partnership with you, with your support, I will try to make it happen.
And he ran straight back to the board and said, "We need more money!
Drop us on his angry.
We need 900 more period!"
You just watch the art of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. You have this feeling that the rest of the world has more confidence in Trump's abilities than the Democrat Party or the media. You know what I mean? He might bring world peace, this guy.
He might.
The guy everybody's been laughing at for years might bring world peace with more stuff like this.
Everyone made fun of him like, oh, yeah, like he's just going to get it. It was like, well, okay. And by the way, I thought they might split the difference. Like 150 for no over. But instead, he got 800 billion more than he asked for. I don't even know how that happened.
I know a guy. His name's Godzilla.
He said he's going to cut a Mothra. I still have a family in Tokyo. More money. So, I don't know the art of the deal. My point is I'm filling in the blanks. So, let's all recap this for a second. The market's recovered. And by the way, they'll probably go up and down. That'll continue to happen. I'm not telling you that this is permanent, that we know it's going to stay here. It'll probably go up and down. So the market's recovered. Signs of our economy as far as job, as far as labor force participation, as far as inflation markers that we use are all really good. And we have record investment in the United States from foreign nations and companies to the tune of $7 to $10 trillion. Do I have that right? At what point do you say, okay, the most effective first few months of a presidency ever? Ever. I get it. Doge could do a little more. We could see some more receipts. But guys, you do have to celebrate the wins. I mean, think $1 trillion. I don't even know that SoftBank could. I don't even know how they agree. I don't even know they have $100 trillion to do that. But apparently they do.
I didn't even know what SoftBank was until I saw. I think art of the deal involves you being about a foot taller and about 400 pounds heavier than the guy you're negotiating with.
Yes, exactly. There's a reason for weight classes. We need more money.
You're gonna kill me.
You mean what he said?
Hey, you're gonna crush me. You're gonna crush me.
We're very small people. He's very large.
Very on.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Fat vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the